Hi, everyone. I should say greetings.
Hello.
Brian's not here, but I should say
You should.
greetings. Yeah. This is Tara, Brian, and Travis from Starship Tempest.
Hey.
Hello.
And we wanted to tell you about a crazy thing that happened last night, or by the time you see this, 2 nights ago. So let's talk about first what it was that happened last night. Or 2 nights ago. We were asked to be guests on Starship Edsel, which is an improvised Star Trek show at Second City in Chicago, which feels crazy that we had that opportunity and got to go and do that. So so we want to tell you a little bit about who they are and how we knew them and how all this came to be.
And how I had to kept saying we should do this, we should do this, we should do this.
Totally.
Exactly.
Totally right.
100%. And now how we're all filthy rich and famous because of that experience.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
Second City. Amazing.
So, I mean, you were the one, Tara, who organized the whole thing, who they reached out to. So, you kick it off.
We originally met them at Starbase Indy, which is actually a convention that's coming up over Thanksgiving weekend, where we will be there again. It is a great little homey Star Trek convention of like it's like a chosen family convention
In Indianapolis.
Yes, which Travis introduced us to in the first.
So, yeah.
Had you gone before that? 2 years
I had not. That was my first time as well.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. If we could just brag a little bit about Starbase Indy for a quick second, because
Sure.
when we went, the 3 of us and several of our close friends are Dragon Con veterans, 20-year Dragon Con vets. That is the convention experience that we are most used to, which is when 70
not a normal convention to be used to.
So 70,000 people nerds descend upon the city of Atlanta and just party and cosplay and just the love for multimedia in general. It is truly a wild and crazy experience. Yeah. And, we have, of course, gone to smaller conventions over the years, but we had never traveled to go to a smaller convention.
Right.
No, that's not true. I guess in Kansas City.
But I was working.
You were working.
Yeah. I used to have a costume business.
To just attend a small convention, to travel to do so, was not something we had done. And so I was not sure what the experience was going to be. And Tara is right. It was the most close-knit, family feel, delightful little convention. If you have no plans following Thanksgiving and you happen to be in the Indianapolis area, or if you're fortunate enough to be able to travel on short notice and you love Star Trek, go check out the Starbase Indy in Indianapolis. It's incredibly intimate and just a really great community feel
and very welcoming for sure.
And we'll be there hosting some trivia.
That's right.
We will be there.
So we were there 2 years ago, and they said they had this improvised Star Trek group from Chicago, and we're like, well, we're from Chicago. We should probably know them.
We should have run into them at this point.
Be friends. And so the crew of the Starship Tempest, or partial crew, it's just the 3 of us that are local. So the partial crew of the Starship Tempest met the crew of the Starship Edsel there. And we all got along swimmingly right away. We took some pictures of like our 2 captains together, Ryan with Edward, and it was very good.
Than I am.
He is, yes.
He's a very tall individual.
Yes. So we were chit-chatting and stuff, and they reached out to me a little while later and were like, hey, we're going to do this fundraiser. And this is like months later. We're going to do this fundraiser, and we want to do your crew versus our crew in a Star Trek Jeopardy like trivia contest. And we were like, okay.
Reed, not really realizing at the time that it was literal days, if not the day after, we got back from the aforementioned Dragon Con, where we are just slogging our ways back to our doors.
We were like,
very sleep deprived.
Yes, like it's a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. It's for a good cause. It's for a good cause. And we needed more than just 3 of us on our team, so we actually tagged in Keely and our friend Katie Utke and our friend Mark Soloff, and it was so much fun to talk Star Trek and compete together, and we'd never been at that theater before, and so that was when we first met them. And, we've occasionally exchanged things online and stuff
social media
since then. Yeah. And one of the guys that was there that night, Anthony LeBlanc, is now a director at Second City, and he also knows Keely, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he talked to her, and she told him to talk to me, and I told the guys they want us to go to Second City.
So Keely is indirectly responsible for us
Yes.
going.
Oh
to
yeah, definitely.
And she can indirectly take that away from us.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. So yeah, so that's how that came to be. And he said that it was a limited run of the Sunday nights between October and November, the Thanksgiving weekend. And so we were like, okay, we'll figure something out and get back to you. And then October was Crazy Town.
Shutdown time.
Shut down. And like Ryan and Travis were affected by the government shutdown, which directly is also me. And so we were all like, I can't commit to that. I don't know what to mortgage. I can't
It was like the headspace. I was not you might, as one might expect, I was not in the greatest of headspaces during the shutdown. I'm sure Travis wasn't either. And so it was probably me of the three of us that was dragging the group's feet the most, because I got the sense from you two online that we should definitely do this. We should just pick a date and do it. And I was the one who finally was like, oh, fine, let's just do it. We should do it. It's a great opportunity. And so that's when Tara got back in touch with them.
I believe it was Travis, actually, who was like, I'm surprised you guys aren't more excited about this. And we're like, we should be.
It was me. I was dragging my feet.
And so I reached out and I was like, okay, if it's not too late, I know you only have 2 weekends left, but we'll take that one in November. And he was like, awesome. I'll get back to you with all the information on your characters and a beat sheet. So I called my professional improviser friend, Lisa Burton, and I was like, Lisa, what's a beat sheet?
She didn't know what a beat sheet was. I didn't know what it was.
In fairness, this wasn't like so like a lot of people, when they think improv, they're thinking like, whose line is it anyway, right? Like you go up and you play little games and stuff. They're much more story based in the sense of like they're long form. They get some suggestions at the start of the show, and then they tell a whole story, and they're telling an ongoing story that we were in the penultimate episode of season 3. And so they're doing a story with some improvised comedy throughout it at the same thing. So they had a rough script, a couple page long script of like, these are the things we want to hit and to get through the story for this one.
So how you get there is the improvisation side of it. You have to hit these beats to move the story forward, but how you get there in between those beats is completely up to the characters, which is super cool and super fun, and not terribly dissimilar from what we do
on Tempest. Except that we don't know the B from A to B. We're just like, we are supposed to go this
Brian is the only one that knows A and Z, and then we do our best to go to like Epsilon. To go to a different alphabet altogether.
A different alphabet. So we met the author or their writer for the show, which I hadn't really thought. I thought improv, who has a
writers,
right? But they're telling an overarching story, so they need somebody who's got the big picture of like, okay, this is where you're going and why. Because I imagine otherwise it would just be technobabble chaos all of the today we're gonna go rescue zebras or whatever. It would be nonsense. But that's
definitely a Tempest episode.
Yes, 100%.
We'd be, instead of rescuing black and white zebras, we'd be rescuing white and black zebras.
Interesting.
So that's the difference. The colors would be inverted.
There's only one of each left.
And they hate each other. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Good. That was really good.
Thank you.
Let this be your last Battlefield reference.
Yes.
Nice.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyway,
maybe just Star Trek joke. Anyway,
who would have thought?
I know. So we got there to Second City, and we're like, geeking out a little bit. We had the script outline that we had read and printed and everything, and Ryan was going to play.
So, spoilers. This is part of their overarching Starship Edsel's overarching theme. We're gonna do a little bit of spoilers here in case anybody wants to go to the beginning of their story arc and watch. But their crew is from not the original series Discovery era, and they had traveled back in time to encounter Captain Christopher Pike, and Tara played Una Chin Riley.
Yep.
Travis was a member of the Tribunal Court.
A random judge, yes.
Yes, random judge. And what name did you pick, Travis?
Oh, I went Judge Doom.
Judge Doom.
Because why would I not?
Yeah.
So, and
he threw in the dip, by the way.
I know.
It was so funny.
Love the dip.
Then I wanted to go, oh my God, it's dip.
So I played, I got to play Captain Christopher Pike, which was really fortuitous because, again, this was one of the weekends in November that they offered us. We picked this one, and that happened to be the episode that they were doing that day.
With Pike, yeah.
I just happened to have a Pike costume, including a really awesome modified wig that Tara did to give me the Pike's Peak look. So that was one of my favorite moments, actually, just the first time walking on stage and just hearing the audience reaction to this ridiculous wig that I had. Again, made by Tara, because
thank you.
That's part of her magic ability. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool. I actually had to tap into said magic ability right before the show yesterday because I realized they wanted him to be Pike and they asked me to be number 1. And at first I was like, okay, yeah, I'll figure that out. And then I was like, I don't have an outfit for that. So I bought a yellow dress, but it's not an appropriate yellow dress because I'm not like an off the rack size. So it was just a yellow dress. So I was like, well, but his costume's really good. So I got some old black leggings and I cut them up and I sewed black panels down the side of the dress and I cut it off. Yeah, and I cut it off so it would be like a scant level, and then I wore black leggings. And
it turned out really good.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I threw it together that day, which I'm never a last minute cosplayer ever. So that I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I was honestly, I was a little kind of bummed to be a specific character with a specific normal voice
because you couldn't hide behind your accent.
Like, whoever it is, it's gonna be a British accent or
it's gonna be Eel.
Yeah, it's somebody just so I can like go to my comfort place and not think too hard. Nope, you have to be Una Chin Riley, who is serious and poised, and your normal voice.
Yeah.
And you did awesome, and it was still fun.
Thank you. It was still fun. I was very nervous all the way there.
Yeah, so that was the episode that they asked us to do, which again was just fortuitous, just for on my behalf that I happened to have the exact costume for the character I was playing. It was great.
Yeah.
But when we first got there, what was probably the coolest experience, just walking into the facility at Second City and seeing Stephen Colbert and like John Candy, Carell, like all of the famous Second City alumni that have walked through those halls, and now we were going to go on stage in that place.
We were like,
nuts.
I said to Ryan today, I was like, can you imagine back when we started recording Tempest in 2019 with a baby right before the pandemic hit and all of that stuff, when none of us knew how to play Star Trek Adventures at all. Could you imagine telling us then, like, eventually you're going to host panels at DragonCon. You're going to be offered, to go to other conventions and host trivia and panels and stuff. And then you're going to be a guest star at Second City. We would have been like, okay.
What's funny is that you all would have had you would have done like this dip and because if someone had told you back in college, you'd be like, oh well, at some point you're going to do comedy on Second City, and you'd be like, that'd be amazing. That's what I would love to do.
Right?
And then 10 years later, you all were like, oh, that dream's never going to happen anymore.
We're not
so
doing
let's
that.
move on.
Yeah.
Here you are.
Travis is right, because we used to be in an improv comedy troupe called Random Acts of Insanity back in our college days, at tail end of our college days in Daytona Beach area. So which
still exists, run by Andrew
Yeah.
Ramos. Yeah.
Random Acts of Insanity. Look it up. They're still kicking.
Yeah.
So yeah, Travis is right. We had there at one point in our lives it wouldn't have seemed so far-fetched.
We would be like, oh yeah, we have the chop for that. It'd be great.
15 years.
And then life finds a way.
15 years of me doing air traffic control for a living,
and 3 children.
And 3 children.
Mom for a living.
Yeah.
Like that was not on our bingo card anymore. That bingo card was turned in and swapped out.
Yeah.
So,
but on our way there, we were like, we're just gonna have fun, no matter what they throw at us. It's gonna be great. And like, holy crap, but it's gonna be great. So we're sitting in the rehearsal, and it was just cool to be in a rehearsal space with everybody and like
feel that energy.
That energy, the pre-show energy and stuff. It's been so long. Like theater
has been a while.
Right, theater was my whole life growing up. From a kid up through college, I was in every play I could possibly shoehorn myself into, musicals, the whole thing. And then I moved up here, and it was a like completely different life. And so doing when I was on Our Fair City and Unwell and now Tempest, like the audio dramas and podcasts have been my little foray back into theater. That I'm not physically on the stage, but I'm still performing, and that feels great. For sure.
Yeah, that and the Shatners at Dragon Con.
Well,
we don't have to get into that.
No, they're Brian's favorite. Anyway, so that just being in the room with the energy and stuff, I was like, okay, this is cool.
And doing a walkthrough and everything.
Yeah. And Anthony told us, he was like, don't worry. The crew, the Edsel, is going to do all the heavy lifting. You guys don't have to do much. And we were like, sweet. That sounds perfect.
On board.
And then Ryan
as a whole is like half of takes up a solid third of the entire sketch.
Go ahead.
So I mentioned, as we mentioned earlier, we did improvise comedy. We did improv at Random Acts for years. And I loved hanging out with my friends. That was the joy that I got from doing it. Actually performing on stage doing improv, for me personally, is sort of living out the actor's nightmare. Because if you don't know, the actor's nightmare, if you've done a play and you go out on stage and you don't know your lines, it's the worst kind of fear, and because literally all eyes are on you in the theater and you don't have your line. That's called the actor's nightmare.
Yeah.
And that's you're a willing participant in the active nightmare every time you go onto stage doing improv. And some people absolutely thrive on it and are amazing at it. And it's just second nature for them. The Edsel crew is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fearless. Yeah. Just goes out there and just owns that feeling.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people. I have anxiety going out there to do those sorts of things. So, like Tara said, Anthony, God love him, was like, all right, so there were probably, I want to say, 5 or 6 different cue beats that I had to deliver in order to progress the plot.
Yeah.
Which was 5 more than I would have signed up for voluntarily. But, I mean,
it was like,
Travis.
He was, sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
He was like confident in Ryan from the get-go, which I loved because Ryan's our captain, so of course like he's gonna go in guns blazing or phasers or whatever. But he looks at Ryan and he's like, so you're gonna accuse them of doing 3 horrible things, figure out what those are. And I can see Ryan like, what are they? And like,
oh god,
immediately spiraling. Like
my brain shifted right into problem solving in that moment. And what is actually going on is, that effect when somebody is like and you're watching a movie and somebody's not paying attention and the audio gets muffled and the person that they're looking at is still going through pantomiming whatever conversation.
But you can't hear anything.
Yeah, but you can't hear anything. That's what was happening to me as Anthony was diligently explaining the rest of the beats going forward from that moment, and I was just like, 247,000 tribbles are beamed up Borath, the mining colony, or the monastery, and
I saw you start to panic. We've been together for 21 years, so like I knew what was going on in there. So I saw him start to panic, and I was like, oh, I have to pay attention now so I can bail him out later.
Point out where.
And
I will say that you two, Travis and Keeley, were.
I'm Tara.
I said Keeley. Travis and Keeley is one word.
Travis. We've been together for 21
and
years.
Tara. Yeah. Travis and Keeley is one word. That's why my brain did that.
Yep.
So, but Tara and Travis you guys were monumental in keeping my head on straight, and I appreciate that. Checking in on me and getting my back. But anyway, the show progressed, and we did it.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, you talk about how much anxiety that you have during it, but again, you go out there and you own it. Like, you're good at it still, even though you may hate it while you're doing it. But you're still good at it. So like that works out. And And then yeah, we went through the play came off without a hitch. We each got a laugh or two
Yeah,
at
that
different
was fun.
moments. So
Oh, there was also a part where I was supposed to have a moment with Ian, who played Reyes, and like a different moment was supposed to happen with him later, but Ryan and I kind of jumped the gun and said that part too early. And so I tried to kind of play it off and say like we'll talk to you later kind of thing. And so Ian was so gracious and came up to us later and was like, this stuff happens all the time where we like mess up the order of our beats. So let's just make sure that after this point we have a moment. And I was like, okay. And so we just like worked it in later on. And I was like, it was a testament to the Edsel crew in how they like make those moments happen, even if somebody forgot the order or something. And I watched them backstage. They have the beat sheets.
Yeah, they're all just staring at it the entire time.
Yeah, if they're backstage, they're just looking at it, looking at it, looking at it, looking at it, go. So the whole time.
Yep.
And thinking about what they're going to say and how they're going to make this work and working in the things from the beginning.
Right,
suggestions.
Yeah, the suggestions.
Yeah.
Ryan worked in one of the audience suggestions.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember.
good.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
And the I don't know if this happened because we were behind stage right before we walked out for the first time. Travis, you were on stage left, and I was wondering if your side of the stage did the same thing because Reyes, Ian, and I think her name is Ileana, and forgive me if you're listening, Starship Edsel, and I got that wrong, but who played Dixie.
Sorry.
That's an alarm.
That was an alarm, sorry.
Both came up to each other and then to Tara and I and said before the show, I got your back.
Yeah.
It felt like it was sort of a pregame ritual for them behind stage.
Everybody said.
Did that happen on your end? I was curious.
Yeah, I had like one or two do that, yeah.
I got your back.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
What a cool little thing to do.
And I think, watching them from behind the scenes and watching how they prepped and switched off and all of that stuff, they trust each other. There isn't the like, I'm going to be the funniest or whatever. I don't need to play with you because I'm going to say this thing about me. It's very like, we're all going to make these beats happen together in this way. Go.
They're actually a crew. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. And, they were very welcoming and kind and
invited us back.
And they did.
Point in the future.
We'll see if and when that happens.
Yeah, it's so lovely. They are also going to be at Starbase Indy over Thanksgiving weekend, and
so we hang out with them again.
Yeah, and I just emailed them today and thanked them for having us and all that stuff. And somebody said, "We'll see you at Starbase Indy. Maybe you can get on stage with us." And I was like, "Oh."
That would be fine. I can handle Starbase Indy after doing Second City, I think.
Yeah, less pressure. Less. But
at least until we get to the main stage.
Oh my gosh, that looks so cool. There's like the chair.
They build an original series cabinet chair with a bridge around it. It's awesome.
That'd be awesome.
It is, yeah.
So, but yeah, that was
a good time.
That was the day that Starship Tempest got on stage at Second City. Oh, and a little shout out was given to one creator of Starship Tempest, Brian Finifter. So the crew of the Edsel, one of the things that they were framed for in this episode, this tribunal that happened, was that the Edsel destroyed a starship. And Anthony did not say it could just pick a name for a starship. So I made it the USS Finifter. So Brian's name was spoken aloud on the second.
Which hilariously they immediately said was a terrible name for a starship.
So fun. Not only did the starship get destroyed, but they also insulted it afterwards. It was
perfect. Couldn't have planned better.
Oh my gosh. On like a running joke on their ship is that they all are big fans of Pike. And so every time Ryan came on stage, they were like, "Oh my god,
they all fangirled."
Oh my gosh, it was so cute.
They were good. They were very good.
That was a whole lot of fun, and we got out of the show and we're headed back to the car. And I was like, "Ryan, guess what time it is?" And he was like, "I don't know, 10." And I was like, "It's 8:30." Because at Second City they have so many shows that they run. It's a machine.
Yeah, it's a block. Yeah.
This Yeah, and they said a lot of people like they'll come to see one show and just stay for the next show because they're already there and this looks funny or whatever. And
Yeah.
so it was just wild to have all the like worry and anxiety and nerves and stuff, and then it's over already, and it's only 8:30 at night, and we're like, oh my god, it was a really cool experience.
And now we're like, when's the next time we get to do that?
I know, a little bit. So we wanted to.
And I think now that I understand what the process is and what the
because we had no idea what like the format. We were like, you guys did short form improv before, and like we've all been a part of the theater world, but like this is obviously sort of splitting the difference in those. So not having seen that beforehand and being like, exactly how does this function when you're the one on the stage, not just seeing it in stage. And so like having seen how that process plays out and how it translates from the prep work to the actual show, it's like, okay, I think if we got a beat sheet tomorrow, we'd be like, yeah, we're good to go in a day or two. We're fine.
We could do this. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Which is interesting. Maybe that's something we could think about for like Dragon Con or something for, having an outline of something like we're going to get from here to here in Tempest fashion, ready, set, go.
Oh man.
I mean, we do the one shots. I think we get by with just doing one shots at Dragon Con.
That's fair.
So
that's
when
fair.
when they let us. So
it's a cool format.
Speaking of one shots, I was telling Tara that I think it would be fun to do a standalone, non-canonical, canonical one shot with Starship Edsel. Bring them onto our turf and do an episode of role playing, like on Tempest.
That'd be fun if they happen to be watching.
So
if you're interested in,
we're gonna call down the thunder.
We're gonna make the offer at some point when we have the
make you an offer you gave
the time.
The next Kobayashi Maru, maybe we can put a couple of them through the ringer. So
do the Edsel on the Kobayashi Maru.
That
would be fun.
That...
they would not live. No, they are not a great crew.
The shtick is that they're a terrible starship.
Oh god, they're so funny. They're great.
It's awesome, and it was fantastic.
So, it was a good time.
It was a really good time. Well, I do want to say one more thing before we wrap this up for this evening, and that one thing is that I was checking our Patreon today, and I have to update all of that. I'm going to send out a really fun November and December Happy Mail thing, because that's what I do for all of our lieutenant junior grades and up. So now would be a really lovely time to join our Patreon to make sure you get the cool things I'm going to be sending in the mail very soon. So that you can go and do that by going to patreon.com/Starship Tempest. And we would really appreciate it. And
even the cheapest one is just, what is it, just $1 or $2? I think it's just $1.
Yeah, the lowest tier is $1, and if you want the things in the mail, it's $5 and
there you go. Yeah. And then you can come join us on Discord too, because we chat with everybody on Discord regularly at this point. So
and some cool behind the scenes stuff and a newsletter and
just talk Trek in general.
That
weirdly philosophical discussion sometimes. And then also we post STL like 3D print files of the Starship Enterprise that's made of Thanksgiving foods. That's a thing that happens.
That's the spectrum, folks.
Yeah,
that was just this week.
All of those philosophical discussion to Thanksgiving Enterprise.
To pumpkin pie sausage section.
That was so cool, though. We have to make.
I know. I know.
Okay.
I know.
The hard part is the colors.
I know. I have to
because just make it all one color and I'll paint it.
Captain Green is he has the bamboo, Travis, but he's got the 4-spool adaptation.
So do I now.
Do you actually? Oh, good.
I do.
Well, then you can print that.
You make it. Just print. Well, I'll paint it.
Okay, fine.
I want it.
It is pretty fun.
It is. It's awesome. It'd be a great centerpiece.
Yeah. All right.
That is all.
That's all.
But we're just bragging because we got to be in Second City, Chicago.
We're so excited. And
it was an amazing time.
Interested in how it all played out because it was pretty neat.
An incredible.
And it is online. It is on YouTube. We posted the link in the Discord. If you search Starship Edsel in YouTube, you'll find their sort of feed. They stream it live as it's happening, which means literally on the ride home, I could find it on YouTube already. But if you search Starship Edsel, you can see their entire run all the way up through us. We are season 3, mission 20 was us. So check them out too.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge thanks to Starship Edsel.
Yeah.
What What an opportunity. Thank
and
you.
Anthony.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you all for watching, for joining us here today, or watching or listening. It'll be in both places, I think. And as always, stay safe, be kind, and we'll see you
Out there.
Out there.